E-bikes are brilliant, but how capable are they? Can the latest road e-bikes make it up the most epic, beautiful climbs in the world? We're here at the bottom of the Stelvio Pass in Italy. This bad boy is 21 kilometres long and is 2,758 metres high. It's an absolute monster. But will my battery last all the way to the top, or will it run out halfway? Guess it's time to find out. The Stelvio Pass in Italy, regarded by many as the greatest road in the world. Its 75 hairpins are like a piece of spaghetti insouciantly draped over a beautiful mountain. It's 2,758 metres high and 48 kilometres long end to end. Naturally, it features beautiful views the whole way up, vistas which only improve the higher you go. I'm just on the lower slopes of the climb coming up from Formio, and for me, summiting the Stelvio Pass on a bike is an absolute bucket list activity. But while it's something that's possible for many fit cyclists, it's not achievable for everyone. Perhaps you're older and not as fit as you used to be, or maybe you're new to cycling and haven't built up the requisite fitness, or maybe you're just not as fast as your friends and worried you couldn't keep up. Whatever your reason, it doesn't matter. I'm here to find out if a modern road e-bike can make something like the Stelvio Pass an incredible experience that's open to a much wider range of people. The bike I'm using is this very smart looking Ribble Endurance SLE. It's essentially the same as the Ribble Endurance SL road bike, except it's got an E on the end, which means it's got this Mahler X35 Plus motor in there. But it's a very discreet affair. To the untrained eye, just looks like a normal road bike, which is nice because it just means people think I'm an absolute hero, just riding up here like sort of Vincenzo Nibali speeds. I just want to explain that I'm trying to make this test relevant to beginners. So I'm going to cap my power output and try and keep my heart rate nice and low. So I've got power meter pedals on here and I'm going to aim to not ride above 150 watts. This is because by me producing less power, it causes the motor and the battery to pick up the slack and puts more strain on them. So if I was to ride harder, the battery would last probably a bit longer. Now, it's kind of a bit like the film Speed with Keanu Reeves. Far less exciting because there's no bomb on the bike. Anyway, let's get cracking. Right. So some stats for the climb. Well, from this side, it's 21 kilometres long, features about 1 million switchbacks, and gains 1,500 metres, well, over 1,500 metres. Also has an average gradient of 7.6%. But this is deceptive because 3/4 of the way up, there's a much kind of flatter plateau section, which means the bit that precedes it and the bit after it is much steeper than 7.5%. Nice. But fortunately, the Mahler motor should be more than capable of dealing with it, as long as I've got battery, because it's got 40 ticks and 200 watts of assistance if I need it. This climb, it really does have everything. So the bottom section we're on now is characterised by these beautiful pine trees. They smell amazing, and you've got these steep-sided cliff faces and deep gorges. And then we go through a sequence of tunnels, which is an experience. And then we're gonna hit this very sort of famous section of the climb that features 14 hairpins in quick succession. It really is proper cool. Can't wait for that bit.
As well as the beautiful views, you're probably interested in my bike. How much range does it have? Well, that depends. It depends with respect to the terrain you ride in, how much assistance you use, and how heavy you are. And I'm not sure if it's going to manage taking me all the way up to the top with me only doing 100 to 150 watts. So that is what I want to find out. The internal battery hidden in the frame is 250 watt-hours, meaning it can give me 250 watts for 1 hour. The issue is that if I average 7 kilometers an hour, this will take 3 hours. I can see the range with the on-off button here. White and green, that's good. Red, bad. And red flashing means that I'm running on fumes. Hopefully it doesn't get to that. You can also connect an app via your phone if you want more detailed information, and there's 3 assistance modes which you can control from this button too. If I use the most powerful mode, I go quicker, but my battery doesn't last as long. So I'm keeping it in eco for now.
What a place. I think I'm gonna just have a quick stop and admire the view, because it is sensational up here. I mean, look at that. Switchback heaven. I think all too often when we're cycling up mountains, there's always a temptation to just keep going, push yourself. But yeah, it's so nice to just stop and like take it in. It's such a special place, isn't it? I mean, it's just an engineering masterpiece too. It was built in the 1820s, but it existed long before that as a sort of route that was used even as far back as Roman times. But look at this. As you'd expect, this magical road has a rich heritage in the Giro d'Italia too. It's first used in 1953, and that year Fausto Coppi, the legend, he was the first to the top, and so effectively won the Cima Coppi, although it hadn't been instigated at that point. But whenever it is used in the Giro d'Italia, it is the highest point of the race, and therefore the Cima Coppi prize is awarded for the first person to crest the top. Last time it was used, 2020. And Rowan Dennis was the first to the top, although they came over the other way and descended this side. But I think it's better to ride up like this, because you can stop and enjoy it. I bet when you're racing it, you just tunnel vision on the road and just focusing on the race, but you don't get to take all this in. Oh, it's magical. There's so many epic Giro battles up here over the years. Quintana, De Ghent, Nibali. Oh, so good. Right, I'm gonna push on to the top. After the 14 switchbacks, the climb levels off into this gargantuan amphitheatre of a U-shaped valley. I mean, it's absolutely spectacular, and the amazing thing right now is that I can see the whole road for several kilometres, and we're the only people on it. It feels like, you know, we've got the whole thing to ourselves. So special. I can see it now. It's about 3 kilometres away. So mega up here. And we've made it. Look at that. I mean, it's silly, isn't it? As for my battery life, well, it's flashing red. So I'm on the last 15%, but it's made it. And in fairness to it, I think you'd get more range out of it than that. It's just I was really leaning on the battery because I just wanted to really push it for someone that isn't necessarily a strong cyclist. But it makes you really happy because, I mean, look at this place. And the fact that it opens it up, having a bike like this, and means that more people can experience what it's like to ride a bike up here and see that, I think can only be a good thing. It's amazing. Like, this is, best thing in the world. I hope you've enjoyed this video and seeing this spectacular cathedral of cycling. It's amazing. And if you have, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you've got any friends that you think would be able to ride up the Stelvio Pass with the benefit of an e-bike, why not share it with them and show them what they can do? I'm gonna hit the descent now, which is also lots of fun.